Welcome to the news from Kazakhstan. I'm Marina Kim with the latest updates. Here are the headlines. No early elections. The Central Elections Committee says that all previously scheduled voting will be held as planned. The leader of Kazakh National Patriots discourages members of the movement Zhiltakhsan from hiding behind the events of December 1986. The number of hepatitis A victims in Ekibastuz continues to rise and reaches already 27 children. No early parliamentary elections. The issue was finally clarified on Thursday by the head of the Central Elections Committee, Kuandyk Turgankulov. He said that both presidential and parliamentary elections will be held as previously scheduled in 2012.
Senate elections will be held in 2011, while a year later the country will witness three major electoral events at once. Kuandyk Turgankulov doesn't see any legal barriers for this to happen, as the campaign dates do not overlap. Elections to the city councils and parliament's lower chamber are scheduled for the second quarter of the year, preceding presidential elections by several months. According to the constitution, the voting for the head of state should take place on the first Sunday of December. The rumors over the early parliamentary elections emerged back in September. Political analysts and MPs have discussed the possible dissolution of the parliament and subsequent re-elections as early as 2011, because the terms of the president and the MPs expire at the same time. We already had such precedents. For instance, in 1999, we had both presidential and parliamentary elections in 1 year.
President's advisor Yermuhamet Yertezbayev spoke critically of the idea brought up by the party Adilet to ask Nursultan Nazarbayev resign from his post as the leader of the ruling party Nur Otan. Adilet, which promotes itself as constructive opposition, forwarded the initiative earlier this week before the news from the Central Elections Committee.
Nursultan Nazarbayev is not planning to answer the calls to leave his post as the leader of the party Nur Otan, reported on Thursday President's advisor Yermuhamet Yertezbayev. Supposedly, this move will significantly weaken the party. I think we introduce an amendment that will ban one political party from dictating others who should be their leaders. We have to consider the legal side of the issue and whether it contradicts the constitution. President Nazarbayev leads the party for a long time now, and I think that it will be better if everything will remain as it is. The initiator of the proposal fundamentally disagrees with the advisor to the president. Adilet party leader Maksut Narikbayev feels that Nazarbayev should be a leader of the entire party system of the country. Supposedly, this will create preconditions for a more honest and transparent elections. Everyone should be equal before the president. It is finally time to resolve this issue, since the status of the nation's leader had been already approved. Nur Otan members do not comment the statements of the Adilet party just yet, unlike the country's MPs. The latter claim that the allocation of positions within the party is a personal matter of the president. The president has to decide this himself. This is not an issue of discussion. I think that if the president will not lead the party, there will be fewer supporters. That is why our president is our leader. Nazarbayev's supporters feel it is necessary to have a dominating ruling party for the sustainable development of the country. The president himself has talked about this as well, and no matter what any of the observers have to say, he will always have the last word.
Kazakhstan's expert community discusses the recent announcement of an opposition activist Jasaral Koanyshalin, who said he will run for president in the next elections in a tandem with Vladimir Kozlov, the leader of the unregistered party Alga. Political analysts also commented the week-old incident in the National Press Club when a group of aggressive people pelted Kozlov with eggs and water bottles.
Everyone understands that Kozlov will never be registered as a candidate, and it's likely that neither will be Koanyshalin. If there will be elections, the list of participants will be limited to already predetermined winner and the extras. It is more important where these actions will lead to. We should be concerned when people talk about the superiority of one nation over another, which is a violation of basic principles and basic norms of the Constitution that proclaims the equality of all citizens regardless of their religion, nation and ethnicity. I believe things like that should be stopped by the law enforcement agencies of our country.
However, the law enforcement recognized the actions of the Zhiltakhsan members as disorderly conduct. On Thursday, the movement activists called their own press conference indicating their intention to stand their grounds, which can be best summed up as Each nation should have a leader of its own. This means that Kazakhstan should be led exclusively by an ethnic Kazakh. This despite the constitution of the country, which clearly says that all citizens are equal and have the same right to run for presidency, notwithstanding their ethnicity, race or religion. Even one of the most respected and outspoken leaders of Kazakh national patriots, Mukhtar Shakhanov, criticized the action of Zhiltaksan members, calling the incident barbaric. Shakhanov is especially outraged by the association using the events of December 1986 as grounds for their attacks. The public activist says that back then people fought for their independence, while what happened in the National Press Club is nothing but an ill-conceived escapade.
Activists of the movement Zhiltaksan 86, who received administrative punishment for disrupting the press conference of the political bloc Narodovlastia, the democracy, refused to recognize their wrongdoings. The members of the movements regard the penalties for two of their associates as an insult to all participants of the December 1986 events and calling the egg-pelting episode in the press club a diplomatic action. Egg-pelting is itself a diplomatic action in all civilized countries. There's nothing insulting about it. Gulbahram Junisi, who was fined for less than $100, says that no punitive measures will make her withdraw her opinion. Zhiltaksan members are still categorical over Vladimir Kozlov's intention to run for presidency, although now they are choosing their words more carefully. I'm not quite informed about the matter. Mukhtar Shakhanov, a true spokesman for national patriotism, public activist and poet, has also expressed his views on the recent incident. He supports the idea of promoting the state language, but this doesn't make him use it to spew insults. Shakhanov, who led the commission investigating the events of December 1986, also feels that it is normal for any citizen to use his rights and run for presidency. The constitution allows any person who lived in Kazakhstan for 15 years and knows the state language to run for presidency. Kozlov's Kazakh language skills are not perfect, but he still has 2 years to improve them. Some people can master a foreign language in just a couple of months. Many observers have already commented on the incident in the National Press Club. The leader of the party, Alga, has filed a civil lawsuit for incitement of ethnic hatred. However, the law enforcement agencies have yet to react on the matter.
In the meantime, Vladimir Kozlov is still under the scrutiny of the financial police. Following his announcement to run for president, fiscal authorities launched an investigation into his business affairs and now say they intend to pursue the case.
The oppositionist was subjected to inspection last week, almost immediately after he declared the intention to run for presidency. Nevertheless, the chief of the financial police, Kairat Kozhamzharov, said to reporters that the current inspection is in no way linked to Kozlov's public and political activities. Every time we launch investigations of economical and tax crimes, people start looking for implications. I disagree with this approach. Everyone should bear their responsibility and Kozlov should compensate the damage.
Doctors suspected of conspiring together with the former health minister Zhiksalyk Doskaliyev will be held responsible eventually, said on Thursday the head of the financial police. The investigation of the case is still underway and the overall confidence of the official is questioned by the observers.
The case of physicians of the former health minister Doskaliyev will be brought to court, said on Thursday the head of the financial police Kairat Kozhamzharov, although noting that the investigation is still underway. The case won't be closed. If physicians are guilty, it will be determined in a legal way, and an according punishment will be issued when we will bring this matter to court. However, it is early to talk about a trial. There are still a lot of questions addressed to the anti-corruption agency itself, and experts hint at various violations committed in the course of the investigation. In this regard, even the Prosecutor General's office is very cautious while commenting the infamous case. We will give a legal evaluation over the legality of made decisions upon the arrival of the criminal case to the General Prosecution Office. Right now, the main figurant of the case, Zhiksalyk Doskaliyev, still refuses to cooperate with the investigation. His lawyers say it is due to poor health condition of the ex-minister. In the meantime, the Anti-Corruption Commission of the ruling party forwarded an initiative to force officials to resign if their subordinates are suspected of corruption crimes. Party members claim that this measure will definitely save the country from prolonged trials and litigations.
Oskar Bisimbayev, the president's representative in the parliament, found himself in the center of a scandal on Thursday. Constructors of a company in Astana accuse him of not paying them for working on his own cottage. The debt is little over $4,000, but the official says this is clearly a misunderstanding.
This cottage on the outskirts of a promising suburb of the capital has become a center of a scandal. Employees of the private construction company say that the unfinished mansion belongs to a former MP and now president's representative in the parliament, Askar Beysimbayev. Supposedly, foreman named Marat hired the man last year to complete the finishing works on the house. Beysimbayev himself showed up at the site only once to serve a festive dinner to the crew, and since then only serves them promises of future payments. I only saw him once during some major holidays. He came to congratulate us and even brought a ram. I have not seen him since for already a year. I heard he's working in the parliament, so I don't know where to look for him, since no one will ever let me even approach the parliament building. Interestingly, the foreman named Marat said the mansion doesn't belong to any high-ranking official, although he does know Beysimbayev personally for a long time. I don't know him. He ran for the parliament seat in our district and we voted for him. Unfortunately, I'm not his relative though. Now Askar Beysimbayev himself says that the construction workers are mistaken. He has no cottage in Astana. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no cottage. President's representative also decided not to comment the claims of the construction workers. This, however, is not the first time high-ranking officials or their relatives are accused of not paying back their debts. Last year, Shymkent businessmen had a dispute with the father of the Prime Minister Karim Masimov. The case was even brought before the judges, but was resolved only after a protest action when businessmen climbed a tower crane and presented an ultimatum from there.
The number of children infected with hepatitis A is growing in the city of Ekibastuz in the Pavlodar region. Daniel Adilkhan, the city prosecutor, reported on Thursday that the diagnosis has been confirmed for 27 children.
The investigation of Sanitary and Epidemiologic Agency revealed that the first child was infected after consuming a watermelon bought at the local bazaar Narin. A later inspection of the trade area disproved the initial findings. The case of hepatitis outbreak in an Ekibastuz school was registered last week. The facility has only one working water faucet and no soap. The headmaster, school nurse and administrative manager have been already fined accordingly. Due to outbreak, the school was closed for quarantine, while all school children of the town were sent for forced fall break 5 days earlier than intended in early November.
The driver of the car that hit a trade union leader of the Azian-Munaygas production branch, Savet Takenov, was detained on Thursday. In the interests of the investigation, the police currently withhold the name of the driver, revealing only that he is 28 years old and a native of the Zhambyl region.
The accident in Zhanaozen happened on October 31st when Savet Takenov, an activist of a local oil workers trade union, was first blinded and then hit by a black BMW. Takenov was hospitalized with a cerebral injury and at the moment his condition is satisfactory. Oil workers consider the car incident a provocation and an attempt to intimidate strike-minded employees.